In this video, we're going to learn about the different settings that are available in Azon Exit Cache. Now these settings are specifically on their own page. They're not on the page where you actually create the exit pages. They are on the settings page for Azon Exit Cache. And there's two groups of settings here. We have our Amazon account settings up at the top, where we can select the Amazon site that we want to use. So if we want to be creating Amazon.com product advertisements on these exit pages, we would select Amazon.com. We have our affiliate ID, which can also be an Amazon tracking ID if you want to track your website separately or even track stats specifically from this plugin. And then you also have your Amazon API keys down below. Now, I do have a separate training video on obtaining these API keys. If you have any problems getting this plugin to work in terms of searching for Amazon products or retrieving information for the Amazon product ads, if it's just not working, if you're getting an invalid search request, chances are the problem is likely with your API keys. And I would recommend taking a look at the separate API keys video for detailed instructions on exactly how to create those. If you have already created them and you think, okay, well, I created my own set, obviously I know how to create them, I would still take a look at the video because I'm not sure why Amazon has it work this way, but if you do not create those keys using a very specific process, they will not work with the product advertising API. AWS, Amazon Web Services, they have a number of different services, and the product advertising API is just one of them. So you have to create those keys in a very particular manner for them to actually work. Now, down below, the advertisement settings. These settings are used to give your plugin a little bit of control, especially the top two. Number one, we have disable repeat ads. When this is set to yes, it prevents a user from seeing more than one exit page while they are visiting our website, and actually for the entire time that their browser is open as well. So if somebody comes and visits your website and they take a look at a couple of pages, they close your website down, navigate to another website perhaps, but their browser remains open, if they ever went back to your website before closing their browser and then tried to leave it again, they would not receive another exit page being shown to them. So in a lot of cases that may not be utilized, but I still think it's a little more user-friendly to only show them one exit page. This simply ensures that they don't kind of get a bad taste in their mouth for your website if they do keep returning to it. Now, whenever they close their browser down, it is going to reset that. So the next time they came back to your site and tried to leave it again, there would be another exit page shown in that case. So if you're trying to test exit pages on your live website and you try to close down a page but it's not showing your exit page, this could very likely be why. If you want to do any testing on your live website to make sure the right exit pages are showing up when they're supposed to be, you would want to set this to no so you could continuously keep getting an exit page. Otherwise, you would have to keep closing down your browser and restarting it to be able to receive another one. Now the next setting, keyword adds update frequency. This relates to exit pages that are using the auto search keyword, where you provide the keyword phrase and a couple of settings, and the system selects the best products for you. Well, products on Amazon can change. Some of them can even completely disappear, or they might go out of stock, or something of that nature. You also have new products that come along. Over the course of time, from when you first create a website, a couple years later, chances are the original products that you loaded up on that website may not be the best products to be promoting anymore. There might be newer products that have come out that have more features, and maybe they're even sold for better prices. Well, this feature right here will continuously check the auto search keyword provided with any exit page every this number of days. You can set it anywhere from not updating ever to updating every single day, which I would probably not recommend. I'd go for at least a week. You can do 1 week, 2 weeks, or even 4 weeks. And this will simply allow the system to refresh the ads that it's picking for you every this many days. So it'll help to ensure that you are promoting the best products, or the newest products, or the most popular products, kind of depending on what your auto search keyword settings are. For example, if you set it to the best sales rank, then this would automatically, when it updates, it would be looking for the more popular products of that type, and it would keep that refreshed on your website. So combining this with something like the best sales rank search criteria on an exit page can make exit pages that automatically refresh themselves with the new, more popular items that come along for whatever your keyword phrase is. Now there is one final setting here, and in most cases you won't ever want to touch it. And I will be mentioning this a little bit more in the API keys video, because if you go through the process of creating API keys like I recommend in the API keys video, and you provide them in the plugin, but it's still not working, if you still go to an exit page, I'll show you exactly where real quick. If you go into an exit page and you try to search for an ASIN, and you type in a keyword phrase and you click on search, if your API key is not set up correctly, I'll just delete a little bit of my API key here real quick. So after deleting a little of my API key and updating my settings, if I now try to search for an Amazon product, it might give me some kind of message. Here it's saying the key ID doesn't exist. It can also say things like invalid search request is one that is commonly seen. If you see the invalid search request and you're positive that you have your API keys set up correctly, then you may need to adjust this setting down here. You have 3 different ways that this plugin can connect to API, either using SOAP or FileGet Contents or curl. Well, if for some reason you try out all of these options, try selecting one, saving your changes, going back to the Exit Page Manager and search again. And if you still get problems using all three of them, you may need to contact your web host and check to ensure that at least one of these is enabled on your site. I like to use SOAP. So if you don't have any of them enabled, check to make sure that SOAP is enabled on your web server. A simple message to your web host can either find out if it is activated, or it can get it enabled for you if it isn't already. It's pretty simple to do from their end, but it's not something that you can do if you're using a shared web hosting account, for example. So modifying this setting here can sometimes get the Amazon search working correctly. So it's either going to be the API keys that cause that problem or the lookup method. But the lookup method, if none of them work, you'll need to contact your web host and make sure that they have these enabled on your server.